All right, next one is evaluate. Well, so I think really to understand this one, we got to understand what it means without fractions. So what is log base 2 of 2? What is log base 2 of 4? And what is log base 2 of 8? So again, remembering the understanding of logarithms, basically this is saying, 2 raised to what number equals 2? Well, that is 1. 2 raised to what number is 4? Well, that is going to equal 2. And then 2 raised to what number is 8? That is 3. Because, I'm just going to do this. Shoot. Oh, come on. Okay. All right, let's go back to that. That one's 3. And again, you could say 2 to 1 is equal to 2. Put it in exponential form. You could say 2 squared is equal to 4. You could say 2 cubed is equal to 8. So this is what we call the logarithmic equation. This is called an exponential equation. And you can see how they're related to each other in this form. So if we want to put this in logarithmic form, we're basically asking ourselves, 2 raised to what number is equal to 1/2? And this usually gets, kind of confusing when we first introduce it. So the important thing is to kind of go back to our exponential form and like exponents and think about, the rules of exponents, different ways that we could represent exponents. Because over here to the left is exponential form. This is not written as an exponent. So therefore we say, well, how can we rewrite 1/2 as an exponent? Because the important thing is, one last thing is this, property of equality. If I said, 2 to the 5th power is equal to 2 to the x, well, then you could just say, x is equal to 5, right? So as long as we have this property of equality where the bases are the same, we can set the powers equal to each other. So, but before I can do that, I got to set 1/2 equal to a fraction. So again, understanding our rules of exponents, we recognize that 1/2 is equal to 2 to the negative 1st power. So therefore, if this is really equal to, actually, let's move this. Let's move this down. So if I say 2 to the x is equal to 2 to the negative 1st, that means x is equal to -1. And that's exactly right. 2 is first to the negative 1st power. So in this case, for the next one, it kind of gets a little bit tricky again. We're going to use a couple of rules of the exponent. So 2 to what power is equal to 1/4? Well, we recognize we can rewrite 4 as with a negative exponent, right? 2 to the x equals 4 to the negative 1st. Okay, got that. But the problem is you can only use the property of equality when it's to the same base. So therefore, can we write 4 with a base 2? Of course, we can rewrite that as 2 squared, right? So 2 to the x equals 2 squared times -1. And again, remember the rules of exponents, that when you have an exponent raised to a power, you can just multiply. So 2 to the x equals 2 to the negative 2nd. Now you can see x is equal to -2. And hopefully you start recognizing here this relationship. So therefore 2 to 1/8, instead of being 3 here, is going to be a -3. And that is how you work with fractions. Use your rules of exponents to help.